What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to, give me 1 second. I want to give a shout out to the brother Antoine Baker for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. I saw your request. It's best to try to hit me up on Facebook for that. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on you know, just you know what I'm saying. Gotta be careful out there, man. But I appreciate you, man. But I want to talk about something. Now that OJ Simpson is in the news yet again, you know what I'm saying? The guy's been wiped from existence. His family can't even enjoy. I don't want to say enjoy, but that's not the right word to use. His family can't even have the comfort of going to a grave of OJ to pay respects to their father. They had to cremate him because they knew that if there was some semblance of some shrine, if you want to call it that, some final resting place for OJ, more than likely it was going to be desecrated by the insane group. You know what I mean? These people are just the fanatics. They can't let that stuff go. Can't let it go. You know, as if OJ did something personal to them. But anyway, in this particular video, I want to talk about something that the mainstream media never want to talk about. It's funny, you know, with Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur and, you know, other people like that, there's always these alternative theories that they like to put out there. Some of them sound like absolute BS, but some of them are a little credible. But people always want to dissect this and that about, oh, I think this. I got a theory about what happened to Tupac. I got a theory about what happened to Biggie. But there's a very, very credible, I want to say even more than theory, as to what happened to Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Stephen A. Smith don't want you to know about this because his bosses don't want him to ever talk about this angle. See, Stephen A. Smith, in my opinion, has been cutting an epic jig of biblical proportions because he's trying to secure that $25 million per year check from ESPN. So he's going all time tap dancing. He's the maestro of minstrel right now because he's trying to get that mega contract. The maestro of minstrel. I like that. The maestro of minstrel. But anyway, did you guys know about Glen Rogers? I think some of you may have heard that name before. Glen Rogers is on death row for a string of crimes which ended the lives of people that he committed back in the 90s. As a matter of fact, he was arrested 1 year, if I'm not mistaken, after the crime that took the life of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. The theory is that Glen Rogers, and not O.J. Simpson, is the one that took the life of those two people. But the media does not want that put out there. Because, as I've said before, the media prefers to have a villain with a black hat, or if not a hat, something else that's black. So a couple of years ago, actually several years ago now, the investigation discovery actually the Discovery Channel, had an investigation documentary titled "My Brother the Serial Killer." And in this documentary, the brother of Glen Rogers, who himself was no angel, okay, he used to rob places and rob people with his brother, but he had a limit. Okay, he robbed people, but he was not a killer. Glen Rogers was. Their partnership ended back in 1993 when he discovered a body at the family's Kentucky cabin. And he knew that it had to be his brother. He called the police on his brother. And I don't think that they had enough evidence to convict Glen Rogers at that time. So fast forward a year or several months into 1993, late 93, 94, Glen Rogers is now in California. And he's working as a house painter. And he meets Nicole Brown Simpson. Now, this is what the media don't want to put out there. And I'm not trying to denigrate her, her as a person, but Nicole Brown Simpson was a party girl at this point, man. She partied, she was single, and she dabbled in a certain somewhat hedonistic lifestyle. She did drugs, right? So she got to know this guy. Nicole was a bit of a, let's just say she liked men. According to his brother in his documentary, he says that his brother told him, quote, about Nicole Brown Simpson and the family. They got money, they're well off, and I'm taking her down. And since then, Glen Rogers has confessed to this crime, right? And this is something else that they don't put out there. Glen Rogers, when talking to police, knew intimate things about the crime scene, the weapon used, certain ins and out about the house that were never publicly revealed. This is stuff the media don't put out there. So you would think, since O.J. Simpson was acquitted criminally, don't you think that they would have said, well, maybe we need to open up an investigation into this? Just to close this case. They never did. Imagine people hating someone so much that they would rather railroad that person as the person who committed a crime, even though they was acquitted, even though you got someone else who's a serial, convicted of 2 fatalities with women, suspected of at least 70. But you don't want to look into him. You want to put it on a guy that never had committed a violent crime before or since, or had anything linked to him before or since. OJ might have been a bit of a scumbag in a lot of ways, but he never showed any inclination to be that. He never did anything like that with his first wife. He never did anything like that to his subsequent wives or girlfriends, not wives, but girlfriends. I don't know. Then, Fred Goldman basically showed no interest and police looking into this matter. But when you read about Fred Goldman, this is a man who hated his son. Yeah, he got on camera and cried his crocodile tears when it came to trying to get money out of the situation. He was the one that helped to spearhead that civil trial. They're trying to get money out of his estate now. But he disowned his son. From what I've read and from other people that have talked about the situation, he wanted nothing to do with Ron because Ron apparently was gay. So that's why it never made any sense to me. They said OJ was jealous of Ron. And why? Ron was gay. The only thing that to me seemed to link Nicole and Ron was they liked to party and they liked to dabble in drugs. And I think he also, from what I read, even though he was also a waiter, he also was a dealer. See, these are the things they don't want to put out there because, there's certain narratives they want to create when it comes to this situation. So, look, like I said, we don't take up for OJ because we think he's some great guy. We take up for OJ because we know how this country is historically when it comes to the criminal injustice system. That's what have us taking up for OJ. Not him personally. So yeah, just want to put that out there. This is one of the leading theories as to what actually happened to those two. I actually have another theory. I think it was a cartel, but I could be wrong in that. By the way, Glen Rogers was arrested in 1995 for the crime of taking the life of a woman in California. He has a MO or had an MO of targeting women. So, you know what I'm saying? You take that how you look at it now. You know what I'm saying? How you want to look at it now. But I just want to put that out there. Tell me what you guys think.